That is not a journey I soon wish to repeat. But I cannot pause to rest. The culmination of all our effort is at hand. I must see to the preparations for the inaugural ceremony. Thank you for allowing me to monopolize your services, Arton. I am certain the antecedent will be relieved to see you free for other duties. Greetings, Arton. Alphino tells me all is in place to begin his trial company. The Scions shall certainly be grateful to have the support of such an organization. The inaugural ceremony is set to take place here at the Rising Stones. Tataru is cooperating with Alphino to see that all is in readiness, so I'm afraid the recruits themselves have been left to their own devices for the time being. Quite a number of new faces have arrived in Revenant's Toll of late, and I wonder if Reborn might not find himself overwhelmed. Would you speak with him and see if there is aught he requires? What can I do for you, Arton? I thought you'd have your hands full helping out with this new arm of the Scions. Ha! I barely noticed your recruits arrive. 'Twas barely a trickle compared to the flood of treasure hunters we have passed through here every day. While I appreciate your offer of aid, 'tis more your burden that concerns me. I am told this trial company will answer directly to the antecedent, so I trust that means less work for you in the long run. Reborn, the shipment. We couldn't... Gods, woman, what befell? We were bringing a shipment to Revenant's Toll. Provisions earmarked for the frontier effort. But just as we sought to cross over into Mordona, we were set upon by brigands. I believe they may have been heretics. They were many, too many. We only escaped with our lives by abandoning the supplies. Pray forgive us. There's naught to forgive. Provisions can be replaced, but smart soldiers are hard to find. Take your rest, and I'll have someone along to tend to those wounds. What to do? If heretics are involved, then this is like to be more than a case of simple thievery. Ishgard will need to be informed. Whence did these supplies originate? House Fortemps. We collected the provisions from Camp Dragonhead proper. Understood. I shall see that they are apprised of this development. Arton, were you not on good terms with the Knights of House Fortemps? I will be sending them a missive immediately, of course, but I would also have you travel there and offer your considerable talents. Yes, I realize I contradict my earlier hopes to lighten your load, but I need someone who can help bring this incident to a satisfactory conclusion. Our favorable relations with Ishgard are far too important to risk half measures. Thank you for your understanding. I'm certain Lord Horchefant will be glad of your assistance. Well, well, if it isn't my fine friend Arton Histrov. Would you care for a plate of roast caracol? Some mulled wine? No? I see you have not come into my hall merely to escape the biting cold. I was, in fact, on the verge of opening an urgent missive from Revenant's Toll, and I suspect the timing of your arrival is no coincidence.
The incident with the New Frontier hands? No, you need not elaborate. I have been following their progress with no small amount of interest. Brave men and women all. They do our nation a great service. The existence of a fortified outpost in Mordona will do much to dissuade the Empire from trespassing on Kurthus soil. Right glad am I that you have chosen to lend your support to this endeavor. Never let it be said that House Fortom does not acknowledge the efforts of her allies, or her debts. 'Twas in the spirit of gratitude that I arranged for sundry supplies to be delivered to Revenant's Toll. That the shipment should chance to be waylaid by heretics is poor fortune indeed. Poor fortune, I say, yet not without precedent. If you would know the truth of it, these incorrigible villains grow more organized with each passing day. This new unity of purpose we attribute to their leader, the Lady Iceheart. But though I have devoted significant resources to the task of identifying this woman, we have yet to learn so much as her birth name. What we do know is that the heretics speak of Iceheart in reverent tones, and would gladly embrace death rather than betray her. Such loyalty is rare indeed, and I fear to imagine what so committed a collective might achieve. The brigands have not yet been so brazen as to risk direct confrontation here in Dragonhead. Some few of their number have, however, been sighted not far to the west of here, and with ever-increasing regularity. A visit to Whitebrim Front may bring you the answers you seek. Will you brave the snows, knowing what implacable foes may lie in wait? Halone's blessings be upon you! Though I take no pride in the admission, many of mine own countrymen are not so well suited as you adventurers to dealing with such foes. Were they dragons, it might be otherwise. But truly, I could not wish for a finer ally. You have done much for my house in the past, and I have no doubt but that I shall have cause to celebrate your deeds again ere long. Should you learn aught of value, pray return to me forthwith. A warm hearth and a warmer welcome shall be waiting for you.
Arton, is there aught you would ask of me? Pray speak plainly. I am a man of action and need no honeyed words. On the trail of a band of thieving heretics, you say? By the Fury, but you do seem destined to cross paths with those villains. I must confess, then, 'tis a sad truth, that the wilds hereabouts have indeed grown thick with their number. They strike swiftly, without warning, and are canny enough to evade our most able trackers. But 'tis not merely their newfound organization that confounds us. The heretics themselves seem somehow changed. I know not what manner of influence this Iceheart wields, but the men we face seem utterly lost in the grip of righteous fervor. 'Tis an unsettling and unnatural zeal. Mayhap you would care to question one of their recent victims? As fate would have it, your arrival came moments after a traitor was waylaid on the road. A patrol found the unfortunate fellow lying senseless in the snow, and carried him to our infirmary. Assuming he has regained the use of his faculties, the merchant might recall some small detail that could aid you in your task. tell you what happened? Why, yes, of course. I'm quite recovered enough for that. Anything to help catch those cowardly Blackhearts. I was traveling my usual route to Whitebrim Front when a sudden blow sent me reeling. The next thing I knew, I was on the ground and several heretics were rifling through my cargo. Arms, armor, crystals, they were taking everything. 'Twas then that one of them noticed my bleary gaze and stalked over to better acquaint my head with his mace. Before darkness claimed me, however, I distinctly heard the words, "Return to Snowcloak." I dare say that is where they were hauling my goods, but you'll not catch me rushing off in pursuit. They tell me 'twas a miracle I survived it all, and I'll not trust my thick skull to save me a second time. Gah! Draw your weapon, you foul! Wait, I recognize you, adventurer. You are coming seeking heretics. Then we share a common purpose. We were on patrol when we chanced to cross one of their raiding parties and pursued them here. By rights, we should have had them cornered in this ravine, and yet they're gone, vanished like icy wraiths. You glimpsed a woman atop the cliff? Could it be Iceheart herself come to sneer at our folly? And to where did she disappear? The heretics must have discovered a passage through the frozen wall, some hidden tunnel that escaped our notice. We have not the men to risk further investigation. 'Twould be best were we to return to Whitebrim Front and lay our suspicions before Lord Dromont. Arton, it appears I owe you my thanks once again. The surviving knights spared no detail in their report. The men you found out near Snowcloak were some of my finest. That they should be bested so handily. I fear I have woefully underestimated the threat these heretics pose. While I understand you might balk at the notion, I must ask that you put aside your mission and consider the stolen provisions lost to us for now. 'Twould be ill-advised to blunder unprepared into what may well be the very lair of our enemy. Pray, return to Dragonhead and inform Lord Orchefant of your discoveries. He will wish to plan contingencies of his own. As for Iceheart and her fanatics, the freezing heights of Snowcloak will not shield them from our justice for long.
Your return is most timely. Of their own accord, my thoughts had turned to your task and the progress thereof. I confess, my imaginings tended toward the grim and bloody. But you are here now, and I suspect such frivolous wonderings do little justice to the reality of your travails. Tell me, what did you learn of Iceheart? Indeed, and this transpired at Snowcloak? Of all the highlands, that towering wall has borne the worst of the region's brutal shift in climate. So inhospitable has Snowcloak become that we have still to survey the area in its entirety. Could its frozen heights conceal the heretic's hideaway? Mayhap a more robust reconnaissance effort is in order. Putting such considerations aside for the moment, we still know far too little of this Iceheart. That she is capable of commanding such a band of fanatics bespeaks natural authority, and no small measure of charisma. As much as I would like to fathom this mystery with you, the situation has grown beyond my personal purview. I am bound by duty to inform the Temple Knights and request that they bring this matter to its conclusion. Giving the glowing reports the new commander has garnered thus far, I am certain that they can be relied upon to take appropriate action. Though Iceheart's true identity yet eludes us, you have provided us with a point from which to begin. Sometimes it takes but a single stone to prompt an avalanche. On the matter of the stolen provisions, I have already made arrangements for a second shipment to be sent to Revenant's Toll. I could not well allow such an honorable venture to be undermined by one miserable setback.
Arton, 'tis good to see you return to the toll. How fared you in the frozen wastes of Kurthus? House Thomas to send us a second shipment? I must send thanks to Lord Orshafont for his continued generosity. Yet even as our town grows in prosperity, I fear it will attract ever greater numbers of those who would do us harm in the name of greed or power. All of us, Alphino's new recruits included, must remain vigilant against such threats. While you were away in Kurthus, preparations for the inaugural ceremony were all but completed, although Tataru does yet seem somewhat flustered. I've taken enough of your time. Why don't you head into the Rising Stones and see if your frantic receptionist could do with a hand? These parchments need to be sorted, and these documents, why are they even here? Oh, I am sorely tempted to file the lot in my waste paper basket. Ah, Arton, you startled me. You wish to lend a hand? Splendid! Would you be a dear and hand these uniforms to the new recruits? They're scattered about Revenant's Toll, and I haven't the time to track them all down. The recruits know to don their garb immediately and assemble here in the Rising Stones. You'll want to report directly back to Alphino if you don't wish to miss the ceremony. I wonder if the Scions will ever have matching uniforms. A well-funded organization is a well-dressed organization, I suppose. Those who believe this company will see no riches are short-sighted fools. The giving of oneself is an investment in the future. Thus did I sign my name to the cause. These uniforms were a splendid idea. Once our organization has made a name for itself, there shall be wealth aplenty in selling replica costumes to the adoring masses. I thought it best to mimic my fellows here, but I admit that I have no idea what we're supposed to be doing. Ah, our new uniforms. I'm reminded of my induction into the Wood Whalers. The Scarlet Garb marks me as a proud member of the Maelstrom, and a hardy defender of Limsa. Yet in truth I stand for the betterment of the realm, and thought this new company a fine opportunity to contribute on a grander scale. Oh ho, now that's a striking shade of blue. Put alongside my Maelstrom uniform, my wardrobe will certainly not lack for color. I don't believe we've met. I'm Ilbert, and I will have the honor of leading my fellow recruits as captain. Much did I lose to the calamity, and I look forward to aiding others in rebuilding their lives. The uniforms are a shrewd decision. There's no easier method of creating a common bond among what is essentially a band of strangers. Little Alamigo could learn much from Revenant's Toll, that this town can be so alive in the midst of such desolation. I've never worn aught quite so voluminous. Well, I'm sure I'll grow accustomed to the extra cloth in time. Artin Istrov? Gods, I did not expect to meet you strolling about town. The tales of your primal battles were what inspired me to come to Revenant's Toll. "'Tis an honor to receive this uniform from your hands. I shall wear it with pride." "Hello there, lad. Looking for me, was ye? I'd suggest giving a whistle, but I'm not sure as I'd hear it amongst all the bustle." "Oh-ho, proper uniforms and all. This thing'll cut off the blood to me head. Not to worry, though. I'm sure she'll be fine after making a few adjustments." Isildur has at last retired from the adventurer's life. Though I shall miss his wisdom and irrepressible spirit, I am excited to forge my own path forwards. Ah, yes, the uniforms. Thank you. Truth be told, the thought of pledging myself to such a lofty organization is somewhat intimidating. Yes, Arton? Ah, Tataru mentioned you were handing out the new uniforms. I assume you've now met the rest of the recruits? Some few answered the call to arms I put forth through the established grand companies and such. We are not yet an army, but there is much a small corps of elite warriors can achieve. Did I mention I'd thought of a name for the company? 'Tis my hope that it shall soon be known across the breadth of Eorzea. The moment of truth draws near, Arton. Once the last of the recruits have gathered, I shall make the official announcement.
Comrades, your presence here this day signifies the momentous choice that each of you has made. With your strength now pledged to the scions of the Seventh Dawn, you are beholden to no single nation. You stand as the vanguard for a united Eorzea. From this moment forth, I declare you Crystal Braves. Let us mend this fractured realm and face our enemies as one. Whether it be the Beastmen and their primals, or the conflict in Carteneau, it is plain that the nations of Eorzea cannot solve the problems which plague the realm. Thus does it fall to some few heroic souls to succeed where they have failed. Come, take your place at the Scion's side as guardians of Eorzea, and together we shall fight for the freedom of all! For the freedom of all!
A rousing speech, Alphino. Or should I say, Crystal Brave Commander Leveilleur?
Please, Antecedent. The title is honorary. I shall not be leading the troops into battle, as it were. We are of the same purpose. Let us join hands and do what must be done to save this land.
The Scions stand ready. I'm eager to see what the Crystal Braves might accomplish. This shall prove an interesting time indeed for the Scions. Yes, I'm listening. So our worst fears are confirmed. The entire Isle. Such power defies comprehension. Truly? Kryl is alive? Thank the 12. I see. Pray, inform me if her condition changes. Yes, I shall pass on your words to Urianger. My thanks. I shall contact you anon. When I learned of the loss of the Isle of Val, I dared not hope that my friend had survived. Yet, by some miracle, it would seem she has. She's still to regain consciousness, it is true, but better that than death. Putting this happy news to one side, we must now endeavor to make sense of the readings taken by the survey party. It appears the etheric disturbance which accompanied the Isle's destruction is of a magnitude alarmingly close to that of Ultima. Could the Ascians be responsible for this devastation as well? I wonder, have you heard aught from the Mother Crystal since the battle with the Garleans? Then she speaks to neither one of us. Heidelin silence portends naught but ill, I fear. Louisoix, I pray you yet watch over us.
Very good. See that the provisions are prepared for transport. Let us hope that this shipment is spared the fate of the last. The winds are uncommon fierce this day.